Oh. Alright, I shot this video yesterday, but it didn't turn out that well, so we're going to be going over the stretch routine. For each one of these stretches, just hold them for about 20 seconds each. I'm going to be going through them kind of fast, but for each one, feel free to pause and do 20 seconds each. First one that we're doing is not just bending over, but reaching out while pulling these toes back towards you. You know, just reach straight out in front of you. And then we'll go ahead and grab the feet, pull down. Feel free to grab these toes and pull them back as well. And then we'll spread the legs out, go to one side. Make sure you keep these toes pulled back. You can also do it like this, but you'll get a lot more of a stretch on the posterior side of your leg if you pull those toes back. And one of my favorite parts about this stretch is taking the opposite arm and coming up and over, not just grabbing it, but coming up and over. Whoa, stretching out those lats, teres major. And then from here, and you never want to come back over in that position because you're in such a deep stretch that trying to contract those muscles in that stretch, you can end up injuring yourself. So every time I come over, I'll rotate out of it and then take my arm back. But whenever we get into this position, you can now take your toes that you're pulling back and push them forward. Oh. And then pull the toes back and rotate out of it. And I like to do that at least twice per leg. So I'll do this, pull the toes back, swing that arm up and over, push the toes forward, pull the toes back, rotate out, and do it again. And then after you get done doing that, then you'll go toward the middle. Now, the best way to do this is to get a decent spread of your legs and then work your way down. So you can start like this, go down the forearms, go down even deeper until you can lay flat. Now I can do the splits, so this exercise really isn't the best stretch for me. But you can play with your range of motion and whatever works best for you. Like I said, just hold each stretch for around 20 seconds. And then from the splits, again, I don't like to contract my muscles from this super stretched position. What I like to do is I'll roll back, taking that stretch off, I'll roll back, and then I'll grab my thighs and just assist them into a little butterfly. And then you'll pull these as close as you can to yourself. It's okay if you're out here, it doesn't matter. But pull them as close as you can to yourself, grab your toes, and pull down. And then from here, you'll take this leg back like this. So it looks like this first, like a little staircase. And then you'll come up with this bent completely. And you'll put weight, like I said, from here to here, all the way down. And then once you get all the way down, I like to pick this knee up. That's a really good stretch for the glutes. And then take a big deep breath. And I find that that breath there not only stabilizes my core and my spine when taking it into that big of an extension, but also that big breath helps stretch all your abdominal muscles. And then after you do that one, you take this leg and you bring it out some more. And it's okay if it's less than 90. But I like to go to right about 90 degrees and slowly walk it down. And then you'll hold that for about 20 seconds as well. Another thing actually is while your leg is still like this, you can turn your torso over, rotate it to the right, and you'll stretch out all of your adductors like so. You can also just take your legs like this and rotate it inward. Sometimes it's a little hard on the hips though, and sometimes they pop a lot too. Bunch of tendons and shit popping. So I like that one a little bit better, especially because you have it so far out. It really helps stretch that sartorius as well, because the sartorius is the longest muscle in the body, and it's just a real nice opener. So then we'll repeat on this side. You have your legs like this. Take this one back a little bit. Take this one up a little bit. Completely bent. About 20 seconds there. Pull this leg out. And about 20 seconds there as well. And you can do the flexion before or after. But then big breath. And then we'll take this leg out. Now we're stretching this leg. Then we do the wrists. So right now I have the fingers pointing towards me. Stretching the flexors. And then we'll flip. And then we'll bend our wrists. Stretch the extensors. And you can play with this. You can do little steps. You can also rotate it too. Same thing with this. You can play around and stretch. We're not really doing a warm-up right now. Warming up would be more circles and a bunch of circles. We'll do one of those later. And also some more resistance band play. Right now we're just doing stretches. And this doesn't have to be in order. Personally, I just like to do the legs first, and then I move to the arms, and then I do the neck. So then you just take this right arm, put the back of this arm behind it, and pull it across. And you don't want to pull it down, you don't want to pull it up, you want to pull it right about to your throat. 20 seconds. Another 20 seconds. And then I like to take my hands, interlace my fingers, back of my head, pull those shoulders in, elbows in, and look up as you pull. And this is good for your triceps all the way down to your lats, to your teres major, probably your obliques as well. And then I like to take this arm and then touch this opposite shoulder. And I like to do this while looking down, as to not hurt my shoulder. And then I'll look up and stretch. 20 seconds again, and then look down before taking the arm out. Keep your head down, put the other arm in and up. Another 20 seconds. And I like to get a good, nice little pop there on my elbows. Lean to each side, stretch out those lats. All the way up. Bring it down. And then we'll take these arms behind the back like this. Back of the palm to back of the palm. And then we'll take a big deep breath while we're in the downward position. Lean forward. Breathe out and And then we'll take our elbows with the back of our palms on our back, and we'll bring our elbows forward. And then we'll stand up before we move. Like I said, we don't want to move those in those stretch positions. And then we'll take our palms up, put those on our hips, and then bring the elbows forward again. And by bending over too, I'm applying more gravity onto them, pulling them in even more without having to contract while we're stretching, just kind of letting our body stretch itself. All right, and then we're gonna do some neck stretches. The biggest thing with the neck is I don't like to force anything. I literally just do as big of a range of motion circles as I can, and I'll shift my body around to use gravity, so I'm not flexing my neck while trying to stretch it. You literally just drop your head as low as you can go, pick a side, right or left, lean to that side, and roll. I like to be very slow with this, because even right here, you're getting this big stretch on the left anterior side of your neck. And as you roll, on the anterior side of your neck, get over to this side, stretching this whole side of your neck. And then as you roll, now we have all of this, shit fire, have all of this pulling in the back. There's a spot here that I really love. Sometimes I'll just sit here for about 30 seconds and then continue to roll. And as you get down, stretching all this to the back here, all this right here, and continue. And I'll do about 3 of these, speeding that last one up. But I take these very, very slow. Very slow, very gentle, just focusing on that mind and muscle connection. I'm only speeding these up for the video's sake. Otherwise, go very, very slow. Now I just roll when I finish both ways. Sometimes I'll roll the back way. And that's the stretch routine. I also have a bonus. I recently got some resistance bands, and I found out one of the coolest exercises or stretches to do with these. Yeah, so I'll actually take my shirt off for this demonstration. I don't know if it'll help or not, but I feel like this is very baggy and it's kind of hard to see what's happening. So we'll take these bands and I'll put them just like this. I'm not grabbing onto them, not tensing any muscles, just having it resist itself. And then as I come over, and I like to take this very slow. So we'll come all the way back. Get a big good stretch. Now this is the one that I found, is I'll take this right hand and I'll pull down. So it's very much like this one, except instead of just going backwards, you're also pulling that down with the right arm. And whichever arm you're stretching, the reason I like this resistance band so much is that you're not contracting or moving the arm that you're stretching at all. All of the tension that you're providing is coming from that opposite arm. So what I mean by that is as we're coming down here, I'm not using this left arm at all. I'm only using this right arm. And you just pull back and down. And if you ever feel any instability in your left shoulder, you just let off on your right arm. So again, we're right here, and you'll never contract down with this left arm. You'll always just release with that right, come back to neutral, and switch. This is one of the best shoulder stretches I've ever found. And then we'll come back up and we'll do the notorious where they grab the bar and go all the way down. But with the resistance band, it is perfectly acclimated to your ability of flexibility. And I always like to pause right around here because you're getting not only that anterior, probably a little bit of lateral deltoid as well, but those pecs as well. And then we'll come all the way down. And I like to sit right here too. I like to supinate the forearm, meaning the palms up, and get a really, really good bicep stretch. And then come back up, pausing around here before coming all the way through. And then into the front. And the more you do it, the easier it gets. And also with that bicep stretch too, a lot of times I'll just take my arms, splay them out just like this, and I'm already getting an immaculate stretch. And then I can also put my head back and stretch some of that anterior neck again as well. Just like so. Alright, and that's the stretch routine sped up. I found out this little joke that I did yesterday, which actually ended up being a decent workout. Which is kind of just funny because it's calisthenics day 4, but I've been working and work is its own workout as it is. And I didn't want to overdo it, so I decided to just do a stretch routine video. But also, if you take a chair, which I just got a new chair, I'm very happy with this chair, and you spin, the further your legs are out, the wider your weight is splayed, meaning it's further away from the pivoting. So if you bring your legs in, you'll go faster. So in order to get a workout out of this, kind of like preparing to do an L sit, we'll just tuck our knees as we spin. And not only is it fun, but it's also a fucking killer workout too. You can just do this whenever you're bored, or if you have an office job and you're on break. It's fun, get a little dizzy, get a little workout in. It's actually really hard, like, no shit. Alright, that was today's video. This is going to be day 4. I'm also going to do day 5 tonight since I made the video yesterday. Just didn't turn out how I like it. But yeah, that's day 4.